Welcome to Pour the Wine, It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
Are you ready to pour that wine?
Oh,
pour
yes,
that
I
wine.
am.
It's like, move that bus.
That's funny.
Extreme home makeover.
Yes.
So what happened this week? We got a lot of snow for
Yes,
once.
we did.
We normally don't get snow in the area that we live, but when we do, it's usually like a dusting or an inch, and it snows and it looks pretty, and then it goes away. But this week,
we got 11 inches.
We got 11 inches of snow. I mean, I think they were saying that's the most we've seen in our area in 15 years?
15 years, yep.
It is crazy. I mean, it was so pretty. It, of course, shuts everything down.
And it was so like light and fluffy.
It was.
It's like you couldn't ball it up and make a snowball. It just...
We needed it at Christmas time, but oh well.
I know. You never get a white Christmas around here.
Hardly ever.
And what was funny is Brinkley, our dog, we cleared out a path and made this huge circle so she could have a clean area to do her due. And guess what?
Do her due.
She went in the snow.
Do her business.
Do her business, yes.
Yes, she still went in the snow. She's not the brightest dog, but she's our dog.
Yes,
she's precious. So it gave us, we were kind of cooped up. Really, the roads weren't clear for the first couple days.
Yeah.
And then they started to clear, but we sort of stayed home. So we were able to finish watching Holidays.
Yes.
On Hallmark Plus.
Loved it.
So the premise is it's 6 families that live in a cul-de-sac. And there are 8 episodes. The first episode has, you kind of see a hint of everybody.
Yeah, they introduce all the families.
In the first episode. Then the following 6 episodes are focus on one family each. And they do intersect, which is really cool with some of the other families, but the main focus is one particular family. And then at the end, you see everybody again in that episode, which I think is such a cool way.
It was some really good writing. I really enjoyed that series.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I hope we get a season 2. And I don't know if they would do the same families, or it would be kind of cool to go to a different cul-de-sac.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And do it that way. But we'll see it. I haven't seen anything about it being renewed, but it's worth the watch. If you like Christmas any time of year, we really liked that.
Yeah. What else did we do?
We also finished Small Town Setup. I think there were 6 episodes.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't think there were 8, but yes, we finished that, and that's such a cute show where Ashley Williams goes into a town, talks to parents who are trying to find love interests for their son or daughter, and then the town gets together and nominate.
It's like, I think 6 people.
Yeah, like nominate a handful of people, and then the parents go and meet all of the nominees, narrow it down, and then send their kid off on the date. Yeah,
they narrow it down to about three people.
Right.
They watch, the town watches it live, each date.
Watches the dates live, yes.
Which is hilarious.
And nerve-wracking.
And nerve-wracking. I wouldn't want to do it.
Yes.
And then the parents get to decide, the townspeople get to decide, or they get to say who they voted for.
Right, who they think should get the next date with their child.
But ultimately, it's up to the person who was set up.
Right.
And they choose.
Right.
The only thing, though, I wish they would have done with that was to do where are they now? Are they still together?
Love to see that.
Are they still dating, or did they go their separate ways?
That would be a great final episode, catch up on all of them, or do a quick 2-minute thing at the end. Right. Where are they now? Are they still dating? Are they not? Did they? That would just be kind of cool.
Sure would be good.
And that's another one that's on Hallmark Plus, and we're not sure if that one has a second season yet.
No,
or not. I haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, stay tuned. But it's a super cute show, and Ashley Williams, I'm telling you, is perfect.
I do not.
Perfect host for that show.
And she smiles the whole
so
time.
Happy and giddy, and it's just so cute. So check it out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yep. So after our review of this one, do you want to go ahead and rank the 4 Loveuary movies?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Rank them in order.
Yeah, 4 of them.
Best to worst? I don't know. Worst to best? I don't know, however you want to.
We'll do the best to worst.
Yeah. All right. So today, what are we reviewing?
Okay, so today we're reviewing Sisterhood, Inc. that aired on Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. If you missed it, you can now watch it on Hallmark Plus. This is the fourth and final all-new Loveuary movie.
You're going to miss saying that, aren't you?
Yes, I really am. So, how about you drop the synopsis for us?
All right, I'm here for the synopsis. Corporate exec Megan starts a board of directors to improve her younger sister's chaotic life and finds romance with a psych professor who uncovers her tough demeanor. Rachel Lee Cook plays Megan, and Rachel Lee Cook was in Rescuing Christmas in 2023.
Good one.
Where she wishes Christmas would disappear, and it does.
Yes, it does.
I would not like Christmas to disappear, but it does in that movie, but it's cute. Yeah. Cute movie. We actually loved her in a show that didn't really last too long, but a show called Perception. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yes.
With Eric McCormick.
You actually got me hooked on that one.
It was something like 3 seasons. He's a professor and an expert on human behavior and also schizophrenic, and she's a former student turned FBI agent who uses him as a consultant.
Yes.
Kind of a bummer. It was only 3 seasons.
I know.
So
Every time
really liked it,
we like something, it's like
sometimes
the network, it's like, nah,
take it away.
Yep.
Of course, we can't not mention that she was in She's All That. That probably put her on the map. That's another 90s rom-com. Whew. We love our 90s rom-coms around here. Yes. I think it just squeaked in. I think it was 1999.
Now that sounds like a Prince song.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, did
you? You did there. That was pretty good. Daniella Monet plays Izzy, Rachel's sister. She was in Holiday Crashers last holiday season in 2024.
All these good movies.
Yeah, we really enjoyed that. That was cute. She was really cute in that. She was also in Nickelodeon's Victorious. I don't know, our kids might have watched it.
Yeah.
Sort of like Fame, a performing arts high school-ish. Ariana Grande was in it. Elizabeth. Oh. Do you know who Elizabeth Giles is?
Sounds familiar.
She was in the updated version of Dynasty that we really liked. Remember we were watching? Yeah. So she was in Victorious also with Daniella Monet. Leonidas Galoptis plays Dominic. He's the love interest in this one. And also a board member.
Yes.
He was actually, when I was looking up his acting credits, he was in one episode of Perception too.
Oh,
can you believe that? That's pretty cool. What a coincidence. That's right. That's
the way to do it.
Simon Bells plays Curtis, which is Rachel's assistant. And he's only been in a handful of things, but I liked him in this.
Yes.
Actually.
He was really good.
I can see him being kind of a quirky character in Hallmark films. And
yeah,
he was pretty good. He's pretty good. Hopefully we'll see him again.
I'm sure we will.
Rosa Gilmore plays, was it Dila? Is that how they pronounce it? Yeah, the stylist. We really, I really liked her. She has a few dozen acting credits, including an episode of The Handmaid's Tale. Judy Kane plays Lois, Rachel and Daniella's mom. She actually has a very long acting history, and I love that. I love to see, a working actor who may not get a series that lasts 10 years, but continuously work over decades. And she's been in everything from like an episode of Highway to Heaven to ER to Quantum Leap, the original, not the newest version, to Mad Men, to This Is Us, to The Morning Show. So I just love that great span of a career.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Steve Sharippa plays Frank, Daniella's boss, and he owns the pizza place.
I know.
In this. He was most recently in Blue Bloods. And, that's something we've never...
Yeah, we didn't get into Blue Bloods.
I don't think we've ever watched it. It gets rave reviews, so maybe sometime we'll have to check that one out also. Although I think it ended last year.
Yeah, I think
possibly. Yeah. For us, of course, we know and love him in The Sopranos. As Bobby. So, what a fantastic show.
That was, and you got me hooked on that too.
I know.
Years I had watched it. Years after
I watched it
first
when it originally aired. And then I got you to watch it.
Which was good because we got to binge watch it.
We got to binge watch it. Yes. Yes, it was great. Just excellent writing, just top-notch TV right there, TV series.
Yes. Oh, our dog is having dreams.
She's sleeping. If you hear the little
If you hear it, that's what's going on. She's having a little dream.
She's probably dreaming about playing in the snow.
Yeah.
Jackie Hoffman plays Patsy, Daniella's old babysitter.
Yes.
Who comes in. She's great in Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, I love her.
We love that show. She was also
awesome.
in a few episodes of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Another great show.
Yeah, and she's another one who's been a working actress since the 90s. And she was in something every year, at least one thing every year since like 1992 or something. So that's pretty
good for them, man.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So overall, what did you think?
This is a tough one for me.
You go first.
I liked it. I didn't love it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I did not think this was a great finale to Loveuary.
Me either.
This could have been in the middle, maybe. I just, in addition to the main premise of, running a sibling's life like a corporation, there were so many other points they tried to hit, like an overbearing mom, family misunderstandings that last due to lack of communication, mom trying to engage and stay close to her kids after they become adults, and it was less on the romance part of it. And maybe that was the case, but it's part of Loveuary. So
exactly.
You sort of feel like the romance, I just felt like that took a second seat to everything else. It just, I don't know, it felt disjointed. The first half seemed like a different movie than the second half to me. It's sort of like they picked up their momentum in the second half and it became a better movie. But the chemistry was really good between Rachel and Leonidas. Sorry if I mispronounced his name. Leonidas. In their one-on-ones. And I thought Daniella really nailed her role. I loved her.
She was really
as
good
Izzy in this role. She was great. So she did not disappoint. And of course, we love Steve and Jackie and other things. Like we mentioned, they're in, he's in The Sopranos. She's in Only Murders in the Building currently. Right. And it just didn't work in this one for me.
It didn't.
And I hate to say it because I love them. And
I know.
I love Rachel Lee Cook. But I mean, there were some bright spots. But how about you? What did you think?
Well, it looks like our notes were kind of similar.
And we didn't talk about it.
No, we don't
we
talk
try
about
not to
it
talk. We
until we actually record the podcast because we like to see each other's reactions. But I love the premise of the movie. I like the idea of running someone's life like it was a corporation.
Yes.
I mean, they created a board. The board said, you got to listen to us, who you date, your job,
what you wear,
your social media.
Yes.
They kind of, owned her life. Like you, I felt like it wasn't like a Loveuary movie.
Right.
Like, are you trying to pinpoint the love between her and her sister and her mom or the guy? It really didn't. I mean, when they finally, I guess, fell in love with each other, if that's what you want to call it, it to me was anticlimactic. Like,
right. There was not a big build up to it. And then
none at all.
It just sort of fell flat, that part of it.
It sure did. And the only other thing I liked was that it was shot in Chicago. Go!
Holla! We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're going to talk more about Chicago.
I know, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're on the same page.
Yeah, I think
as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Well, what were some of your favorite scenes? I'm going to take a sip of wine while you talk about your favorite
Yes,
scene.
go ahead. Let me think about it. I really only had one favorite scene, and it was when they first introduced the board members.
Yes, that scene was fun. I have that too. Yes.
I thought it kind of reminded me of like a game show where let me give you an example. When they introduced Frank, it was like, he's a CPA and now he's a small business pizza owner. Meet Frank.
Yeah, that was kind of cute and fun.
And then they continued on with the other board members, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, and it was great. And each board member had a specialty like we just talked about. So each one they introduced, they were going to help Daniella in a specific area of her life.
Like Frank was like the tax person, the money man.
Money man.
Rosa, she was the fashion guru. So the dress person, the makeup, and the online presence.
I loved it when she said, "It's not giving, it's taking." I love a good challenge. I thought that was so good. It reminded me of Miss Congeniality.
I know. They had some good moments in this. Then you had Jackie. She was the babysitter of Daniella when she was young. And she also, was an author. She wrote about love and all this other stuff. So she was more of the love guru for her.
Right.
For Daniella. Leonidas, he was Dominique. He was the bubble guy.
Not Dominique, Dominic.
Dominic, I'm sorry. Dominic, you're right, Dominic. He was known as the bubble guy. And he also was a psych teacher at one of the local colleges. And then, of course, you had Rachel, who kind of oversaw the whole board. So, yeah, I thought that was probably my best
scene. That's your favorite scene?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and don't forget Simon. He played Curtis, the assistant, who did all the scheduling and did the board minutes. And I thought he did a really good job.
Yeah, he was really good.
So, what was your favorite scene? And while you're talking about your scene, I'm going to take a sip of wine.
Take some wine. Out of the gate, we just mentioned it. The city, Chicago. I grew up near Chicago. Yes. I love Chicago, and I thought it was kind of cool when they talked about basketball because, as a child, I grew up there, and the Bulls in the 90s were the team, and, I had all kinds of shirts and Michael Jordan and that whole thing. So I have an affinity for anything that's filmed in Chicago, which is great. Go Cubs.
Yes.
We're about to start our season, and we always have hope at the beginning.
I know.
Always have hope for the Cubbies. Always. Usually goes down pretty quickly, but not in 2016 when they won the World Series.
At least you can say you got a World Series in the past decade.
In my lifetime. Yes. So it's kind of nice.
What was it, almost 100 years?
I'm still enjoying that. You already mentioned the intros to the members of the board. Yeah. We already just discussed that. I had that down as something. There were two scenes that I thought really worked, and I really liked them in terms of chemistry between Rachel and Leonidas. Is that Leonidas. I don't know why I want to make that hard on. Oh, I'm so sorry, Tim. When he comes to fix the shower head and then they watch the game.
Yes.
And then when he cooks dinner and she opens up about her dad, those scenes felt like they were from a different movie.
Right.
I felt like they worked really well. Their chemistry was really good. And, she's kind of this tough person who doesn't show her emotions. And then when she opens up about her dad and how that affected her, and they just didn't develop it more than that outside of those two scenes. And I thought that was really, really good. Those two scenes. So those were some of my favorites.
Yeah. I also like when she talked about the dog between her and her dad.
Oh yeah. That was a sweet
Rainbow
story.
Bridge.
Let's not get sad.
Let's not
do it. Let's not get sad. All right, let's talk about cheers and jeers, or just one cheer or one jeer, depending on how many you have written down.
You take the first one on the cheer.
I went back to what I just talked about, the two scenes with chemistry between the two leads. Those were probably my favorite, just in terms of the evolution of the film.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, it was kind of hard for me to come up one, but if I could, I thought the roller. If you had to. Yeah, if I had to. The roller skating ring scene at the end.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of when I'm dating myself again, the late 70s, early 80s, when my mom used to give me $20 and drop me off at the roller skating ring, Friday and Saturday night. I just thought it was a good ending because it was in her element with her friends, and that's when Daniella, and her Rachel. Mom, came together, kind of made up.
It was a cool. They brought it back around to the roller skating because I think they talk about that. Rachel and Daniella talk about
at the beginning.
Rachel taught her
right
how to roller skate and. So that was great, and I wasn't even thinking about that. So that was a cool scene. Can we take a minute though and talk about the dance floor? Did you have a dance floor in your roller skating rings?
No,
I was like, is that a modern roller skating rink? I know we're, old, older, but
well,
I was like, they were slow dancing on the dance floor. You're supposed to couple skate, that was.
Well, it was for people that couldn't skate.
Oh, okay. I guess.
And I remember when I used to go skating, there were 3 things that they used to do throughout the night. One of them was called shoot the duck, where you went around as fast as you could. And I never did this because I was an average skater. I wasn't one of those guys that could do it backwards and zigzag and all that stuff. I just went to just skate. And another one was the hokey pokey.
Oh, yes, the hokey. I remember the hokey pokey on
everybody
skates.
got in
That
the
was
middle
fun.
And
everybody's in a circle and you do the hokey. Yep. Skating.
Yeah. That was fun. And then the limbo.
Oh, yes, they did do the limbo, didn't they?
Yes, and some of those people that could get way, way low on the ground. Nope.
They used to also, where I skated, I want to say spin the bottle. I don't even know what it was. Only it wasn't the spin the bottle like you're thinking. It was spin the bottle, and then they would give like a free day of skating or something. You got like a free ticket to come back or something. That was the last thing they did when they did the group things like that.
No, mine didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever. But I do have one quick story about skating. Okay. So it was a Friday night, and I was there with 2 of my friends. I was skating. They were at a table talking or whatever. And I remember it was a Michael Jackson song. I think it was Off the Wall or something. I can't remember. And I'm sitting there skating, and all of a sudden I see this wheel go by, a skating wheel. And I'm like, oh, man, somebody lost a wheel. Next thing I know, I'm at the end of the rink in how you turn. I went to go turn, and it was my wheel.
I've never heard this story.
So I fell on the ground,
but I can see it.
And the next thing I know, somebody ran over my fingers.
Oh my God.
That was not a good night for me. I was very embarrassed, and my fingers hurt.
Okay.
But my friends had a good laugh at it.
I'm sure they. How old were you?
Oh, this
you were
was
in high
late
school?
70s. Yeah. Oof. Well, no, I was right before high school. And what was funny is they didn't laugh. They were like, "Hey, man, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Man, that hurt. My hand hurts. My hand hurts." And then they started laughing because they were like, "We just wanted to make sure you were okay before we started laughing." I was like, "Yeah."
You know what I almost said? Thank goodness it wasn't an ice skate, but that wouldn't have happened because ice skates don't have wheels. So, never mind. That's where my mind.
But if I would have fallen and somebody went over my hands with ice skate,
that would be bad. Yes,
be good. All right. Well, what about your biggest?
Wait, I had one more cheer. Sorry. Just one more. Chicago. If Chicago's involved, that's always going to be a cheer for me. The city as a backdrop. So anyway, all right, go ahead. What were you saying?
Hey, I agree with you. You actually got me hooked on Chicago. I mean, it was never on my radar. But anyways, let's move on to your biggest jeer.
I had a couple, but my biggest jeer would be the overbearing mom. I think it was too much at the beginning. It was a little campy. I mean, I know some moms can be that way and overbearing, but given she was almost 30 years old, it was too much for me personally.
Yeah, she was a little clingy.
But I will say that Judy, the actress who played her mom, she was so much better in the second half. The scenes with her and Rachel, they were more genuine. They were having deeper conversations. Right. And just as a side note, I do appreciate the fact that they talked about, mother and daughter relationships, and, they can be special, as we all know. And I did just like them coming together at the end, because when your kids grow up, you do want to spend time with them, but you also know they have their own lives.
Yep.
And we've experienced that. You kind of want them around, and you want them to want you around. And when they don't, it's not because they don't want you. They just have their own life now. And sometimes that's hard to adjust to. And I felt like the movie sort of did address that pretty well. And then, like I said, at the end, she did come around and kind of win me over. But the beginning was a little rough for me.
Yeah, it was. I agree with you. I really
the lunch scene with Rachel, I thought was great. And then when Rachel goes with the wedding dress, has she acts like she's engaged, and I thought that was really cute and fun.
Yeah, so. You kind of had to explain that scene to me, because I was like, "What's going on? Did we miss it? Did we miss a scene or something?"
Ring on her finger, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Did she get asked? Engaged? I don't know.
We had to pause the movie during that so I could do a little explaining.
Yeah, she had to explain to me.
What about you?
I go back to, I just don't think this was a Loveuary movie. I really don't.
I agree.
I mean, the acting was good, but it just was all over the place for me.
And another jeer that I had kind of goes along, sort of goes along with it not being a good final film is when they made Daniella's character know nothing about money, with all the access everybody has now,
right.
I just feel like a near 30-year-old. I mean, are there really 30-year-olds out there that would have a shoebox of, you know what I mean? Be like, receipts. Oh, I don't know. Do you give me a W-2? I just filed that. I mean, they kind of made her, I don't want to use the word dumb, but it was like I just didn't like that for her character. I just felt like, I know it's not always realistic, but I felt like that was really unrealistic and sort of playing into the stereotype of women not knowing about money and, being able to do their own thing and support themselves. And I know some people are like that, but I just didn't, that would be another jeer for me about the film. And like you said, the Loveuary, just the whole aspect of it. I felt like the romance wasn't the main part of the story, like it was in the other 3 films for this month. And it just sort of got lost. And that's fine. But then just don't make it your finale of Loveuary. I'm sorry, I hijacked that from you. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. You do you, boo.
Sorry.
No. We're going back and forth. And unfortunately, you want that anchor to be like the show, right? Mm-hmm. Like to me, I don't know. Maybe it would have been one of the other ones that would have been the last show, but it is what it is.
And I totally agree. So out of 5, how many corks do you give this one?
I give this one...
Drumroll.
3.5.
3.5. Oh.
I thought they were all over the place, and I just didn't feel like this was a Loveuary movie.
I agree with that as well.
So what did you give it?
I would give it a 3. I probably wouldn't give it that extra half, but I would give it, I give it a 3. And we've already talked about it. It just felt mostly just disjointed and not a grand finale for Loveuary that we were hoping for. Yeah. So, it is what it is. We still love all the actors and actresses. So, I'm sure we're going to see them in more Hallmark movies.
Oh, we will.
Yes. Yes. So, you want to rank the 4 Loveuary movies now?
Yes, let's rank the 4 Loveuary.
It's the last time you get to say that.
All right, you go first.
Are we going best to worst or worst to best?
Worst.
Okay, best to worst. My favorite was An Unexpected Valentine. That's number 1 for me.
Okay.
Number 2 is Return to Office.
Okay.
Number 3 would be The Wish Swap. And those 2 are very close, by the way.
Right, yes.
Just a hair smidge, maybe. Return to Office has an edge over The Wish Swap. And obviously, as we've talked about, number 4 would be Sisterhood, Inc. I just don't feel like it hit the mark for me. Again, and that would be far away from Return to Office, but it is what it is. Yeah. What about you? How would you rank them?
Actually, mine were ranked just like yours. Unexpected Valentine, Return to Office, The Wish Swap, and then Sisterhood, Inc. Well, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
Well, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss one. Also, follow us on social media. If you really, really like the show and you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a 5-star review. And if you didn't really, really like the show, leave a 5-star review.
Be sure to join us next week for the beginning of Royal Weekends on the Hallmark Channel. First up is The Royal We, which airs Saturday night, March 1st on the Hallmark Channel and will be streaming the next day on Hallmark Plus. Until then, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening. Cheers.